Greetings again from historic Fort Adams in Newport, Rhode Island. I'm Robert McCormick, the Director of Visitor Experience for the Fort Adams Trust. And today I want to take you through really one of my favorite areas in the fort and part of what makes Fort Adams unique among all the other forts of its day. That's our land defenses. Now there are 7 layers of defense that begin nearly a half mile to our south, leading all the way back into the parade field of the main fort. Now those begin with the Advanced Southern Redoubt. It's a very impressive fort unto itself. It has 2 dry moats, 2 drawbridges, and quite a lot of firepower for a small fort. If the enemy was able to take the Southern Redoubt, there is now a long sloping grass hill where the soccer, rugby fields, and the Navy housing is located today. There is no cover anywhere on the glacis. And essentially the soldiers where I'm standing inside what is called the place to arms would be firing upon them the entire time that they're trying to make their way up the glacis. Now if they were able to breach the glacis and get as far as I am, the defenders will continue to pull back the defenses to resupply and rearm the main fort itself. Now, of course, the defenders could utilize the ramp that I am to escape. Likewise, they could utilize these stairs. Now, of course, the attackers can do the same. However, you will notice that both these stairs and the ramp that I'm on now are in direct line of fire from the cannons in the Tanai. Now, the Tanai is a very unique defensive feature. They only built 2 Tanai in North America. The one that you're looking upon now, the other one, is just about 100 yards on the other side of Fort Adams. So if you're trying to attack this fort back in the 1800s, it would have taken at least 10,000 soldiers to siege a fort of this size. Now, the best way to siege a fort is with your cannons. So the attackers are going to dig trenches to get their cannons gradually closer to bombard this fort. Basically try to break down our back door. Now the Tanai is right in front of that back door. So when the cannons are fired, the cannonballs will simply hit the hillside here and have 0 impact upon the defenses. So once it's clear that you cannot assault this fort with cannons alone, the attackers are going to have to take to their feet and attempt to siege this fort on foot. Now, of course, they would have rifles. Chances are they would fix bayonets on the end of those rifles. They would have ladders to try to scale up and over some of the obstacles, much like the Tanai. But ultimately, they're trying to get to that back door to batter it down. So they will know that there's going to be a gate coming up, and they're going to need axes to batter that gate down. Now, the original gates in this fort were massive. Big timbers. They were set horizontally and then bolted to a second layer that was vertical. Now, those were held together by big steel bolts blocking this entire area off. So chances are the first soldier that arrives here with his axe to batter this gate down is not going to be the one that succeeds in breaking it down. Part of the reason for that is as you look behind me, you'll see openings, cannon embrasures, right inside the crownwork. Now it's a little overgrown now, but there were additional cannons up on top, as well as riflemen all along the crownwork and all along here. So a very difficult task for anybody trying to ultimately siege Fort Adams. Thankfully, they made this fort so big and so bad, nobody ever tried. Now, as always, I do encourage you to visit our website, fortadams.org, where you can learn more about the history of the fort, our programming, our tours. Consider joining as a member. Please do continue to follow us on social media. And as always, we'll be here, holding down the fort.